Hello and welcome to another edition of the PHNX D-backs podcast right here at PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, of course, occasionally known as the mayor of Flavortown. I'll get to that later. I'm joined by my vice mayor of Flavortown, of course, the one and only Thunderstick Jesse Friedman.
Derek, what are you wearing? Like, what is that?
This is a hoodie that is actually for a friend of mine, Big E, WWE wrestler, is doing a cartoon that's going to be telling the history, like Black history stories that a lot of people may not be familiar with. So it's an incredible hoodie. I backed it on Kickstarter just to support their entire campaign. It's called Our Heroes Rock, and it should be coming out very shortly. So I'll definitely be putting it out on my Twitter. But
wow, that was an amazingly good answer, Derek.
Normally,
you. See that, like, for people who've listened to the show for a while, they know this isn't the first time that I've asked Derek, like, what on earth are you wearing when we start the show?
Yeah,
and
like
this time that was a very substantive response. I was kind of hoping to roast you, but it's actually pretty dope. It looks pretty cool too. So
well, here's the thing that's amazing about it is it's both Sun Devils colors and new Diamondbacks colors. So it's like
there you go.
It's both of the teams I like to support, at least baseball wise. But of course, this show is brought to you by the fine folks at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook now. New customers can get in on the action and bet just $1 using our code of PHNX bet that $1 on any team. And if that team wins, you'll get $150 in free bets instantly. And it's instantly, let me tell you. And again, remember, don't forget to hit the confirm button when placing your bets, like I did on Steph Curry the other night for MVP, because I'm still having nightmares about that. And it's the other Big E. I know Evan Thompson, by the way, does have a Big E license plate. So he's trying to claim ownership of that name. But in this case, I'll say you'll have to fight the other Big E in order to get that name. And I don't think you want none of that smoke. But of course, we thank you guys so much for being here. So much to talk about, believe it or not. I know it's lockout season, and it's not just lockout season, Jesse. It's absolutely another edition of As the Cactus Turns, as we look at day 2 of the MLBPA and MLB meetings today. Again, they supposedly met for significant time today. Funny side story, by the way. The writers covering the lockout, they got locked out yesterday of their workroom. So it's just very poetic. But per Evan Drellich, sources in Major League Baseball, this meeting wasn't super productive. It does sound like so we've actually lost some ground here, because players apparently increased their request for the minimum salary on how it would increase from year to year, from $25,000 per year to $30,000. So I have no idea what's going on anymore. We're moving farther apart on things, and I just want baseball back, Jesse. I again couldn't believe how great it was to be out at the yard on Monday, hearing the sound of that glove, the ball hit the glove and the ball hit the bat, all that great, spring action that we are missing out on because of this situation just dragging on. But I can't believe now we're moving backwards on some of the things that are keeping this from happening.
Both sides are guilty of this, right? We've also seen the owners come out and, give ground in one area and then try to take back ground in another area. And it's like, I feel like we're marginally better than where we were when we started, if at all, right? And the players definitely did that today, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I would argue this is probably a worse situation for the owners than where the players were at when the day started. So it doesn't exactly inspire confidence moving forward. I know, we've talked a lot about how the player side of this situation is a little bit more believable, a little bit easier to get behind than the owner side of it, just given how players haven't really come out so well in these negotiations in the past. And it kind of feels like they're long overdue to get some of these things that they've been asking for. But yeah, what they did today certainly doesn't inspire confidence that, February 28th, that's only 6 days away at this point, and it doesn't inspire confidence that anything is going to happen by then.
We're going to use that graphic again, Jesse. Don't you worry. We're going to get to use that graphic at least one more time. But Major League Baseball did have at least one positive thing come from Monday. And again, per Evan Drellich, that the Major League Baseball withdrew its proposal per asking the union to allow Major League Baseball to reduce minor league roster sizes. So it's not saying that this isn't going to happen, but for the time being, it sounds like they're going to back off on the reduction. It doesn't mean now, it just means, or it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Like I said, they can and are able to still do it in the future. Just for right now, they're backing off on this. So I guess a win for one less kind of terrible thing MLB was going to do during this period of time.
The CBT is the big thing, right? I think we all know that the collective bargaining threshold is going to be what makes or breaks this negotiation. That's what the two sides are really furthest apart on. And yeah, that is good news that Major League Baseball relinquished what was really kind of a ridiculous idea to begin with. But yeah, until that CBT, until the two sides start even really talking about that seriously, it seems like it's not even an issue that's being addressed right now. These negotiations aren't really going to progress. And we've seen that in negotiations in the past, in these situations between the players and the owners. The CBT tends to be the most contentious point, and we're certainly seeing that happen again here.
It's just because it's such a stupid concept, I think it's a ridiculous concept. The idea that it doesn't, again, the CBT is one of the things technically that helps, to aid tanking in a way, right? Like if you're a bad team, not because you have a big roster, you guys just didn't do well, but you're a bad team because you're not spending money on the team. The CBT only assists you, right? And again, one of the things that they want to help here is competitive balance. And they're talking about this thing being a competitive balance tax. And it's not really that, it doesn't seem like it's deterring any teams from spending this money. And the whole thing kind of seems ridiculous, but so does a lot of things. Like, honestly, I think the players kind of want a lot when they want, they back down, I think, from 8 to 7 of the teams to be in the lottery. The 7 worst teams essentially in Major League Baseball.
That one puzzles me as a negotiating tactic, because I'm not sure, like that's one point where it's not really clear which side that's better for, right? Like the lottery is more of a competitive balance thing than it is like a money thing. And so it's kind of confused me to this point that the players use that as a negotiation tactic, right? Like in the owners' minds, they want there to be no lottery whatsoever, and the players are like slowly giving over some of that ground. That one's always puzzled me, because it's just a competitive balance matter, right? It's just strange. And no other take one side, the owners take the other.
I guess, but like you said, on one side, it could backfire, because that could just mean more teams are trying to get one of those 7 spots. So now, instead of you having like 3 teams fighting for the number 1 draft pick, you have 7 teams trying to be in the bottom 7. So it might just increase that tanking, right? Which, of course, that means tank season is back, baby. And we never want to forget tank season. Tank season's always here, Jesse. It's Arizona. We never get away from tank season. But of course, I don't know. I mean, no other sport obviously has that many teams in the lottery, right? Like, I think of the other sports, and they only have, like, NBA has 3, I think, or 4. I'm not sure, but 3,
Doesn't
right?
The NBA do the whole thing?
Yeah, it's the rest of that's what. And yeah, I mean, I guess is this lottery going to be the order, or is it just going to be for the number 1 pick? Because if that's the case, then I feel like increasing the number, like I said, I don't know if that's going to help. But again, we'll see what happens, where this ends up at. For now, it's definitely, like you said, something that that I don't feel like they need to also be fighting for, when they have other things that they should be sticking to and trying to get in this negotiation. And got to give up somewhere, right? You got to pick your battles as far as this is concerned. But Jesse, a little personal, D-backs love for a moment. It's it's a rare day. And I know people are sick of hearing about it on social media, but it's February 22nd, 2022, right? So we have 2/22/22. I wanted to ask you, who are some of your favorite Arizona Diamondbacks that rocked the number 2 or 22
or 22?
Yeah,
Number 2, I would have to say Aaron Hill. I
absolutely.
mean, he's the guy. I mean, the man hit for the cycle twice in the span of like a week or something like that.
Yeah, like that alone, he deserves a statue for somewhere. I don't know, maybe not a big statue,
exactly.
but there's plenty of places for statues at Chase Field.
He was just such a solid player. And we talked about this a while ago. I wrote an article several weeks back about how the Diamondbacks have performed at every position on the diamond throughout their franchise history. They've done pretty well at second base. They've had some pretty good second basemen over the years. And Aaron Hill is one of them, right? The Diamondbacks have just they haven't necessarily kept any particular second baseman for that long. It's kind of been a revolving door, but it just feels like everyone that they've put there has been successful. Maybe not a star, but at least a solid everyday guy like Orlando Hudson or Gene Segura or whoever it may be. But Aaron Hill is one of the main guys I think of on that list. Is just someone who was just solid. I mean, just a solid offensive player, solid defender. I think he hit almost 30 home runs one year. Very underrated. Someone who, like, he's not a big name, right? But he had some really good seasons as a member of the Diamondbacks.
All right. Well, and Evan corrected us about the NBA lottery there. You said has every non-playoff team in it, but only the top 3 spots are drawn, right? So again, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. If those 7 picks are just for the number 1 pick, if that's going to determine the order of those 7 spots.
The way that I think it would happen is those would be the ones that are drawn, and then everything else would just be reverse
in their
order.
Yeah, of their record.
But it's not known yet fully whether like the team that finishes with the worst record has a slightly better chance of getting the first overall pick, or if all 7 of those teams would have a completely equal chance, which would really make things very different. I think the NBA, it's kind of segmented where if you're the last place team, you're not guaranteed the first overall pick, but you still have the best chance of getting it.
Right.
And it's really that point that makes me wonder if this really deters tanking very much, because sure, maybe you're not guaranteed, a really good draft pick, but you're still going to wind up with the best chance to get it, most likely.
Right.
And if that's the route they're going, I don't really know if that changes much.
Right. And again, it might cause a couple of teams to start tanking to get that last spot that might get them that number 1 spot just by being in the finals, bottom 7 or whatever. So again, not sure about that, but going back to the 2s, I got to give it up for Starling Marte. He is personally one of my favorite, shortest tenured 2s for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but definitely loved that guy. Loved the way he played, and went on to be outstanding everywhere he went after he left the Diamondbacks, and was outstanding for us here. So a guy I really wish they would have held on to. 22, I'm gonna go Eric Burns.
Eric Burns.
I am, and I know legend Eric Burns. Sorry, Jake Lamb. Hard pass. Anyway, no Burns there. No Burns. He deserves that. Anyway, I want to remind you guys all again to go use the DraftKings Sportsbook if you're a new customer. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and you can get down on a deal that's too good to pass up. Use our code of PHNX. Bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if that team wins their game. It's that simple. And of course, those of us that have been around for a while can still get game in the action with a same game parlay. I've been doing it quite a bit, except when I forget again to press the confirm button, which I'm still not gonna forget about. But again, you can combine multiple legs and make sure you finish your transaction. And the more legs you add, the more money you will win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. And I do every time. Every time I win, I'm not leaving it in there. It's coming out with me, and I'll put more money in later. But that's just what I do. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code of PHNX. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over only. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Dial 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Jesse, I'm excited. We've been complaining a lot about I'm excited because we've been complaining about the food situation at Chase Field quite a bit. We've been complaining about the lack of options. We've been complaining mostly about there being not very alluring options. Something that if you, let's just say, like at times there were places that I would actively go to Chase Field to eat at, or if I was there, I couldn't resist, like Dutch Brothers. But
sure,
we don't have to worry about that anymore, Jesse, because Flavor Town is coming to Chase Field. That's right. Flavor Town, Jesse, is coming to downtown Phoenix. Guy Fieri, the mayor of Flavortown, Mayor Guy Fieri. I got to treat him with the respect that he deserves. Mayor to mayor, I'm excited. I can't wait for us to have our meetings. I'm going to invite him to the new thing I'm doing, the meetings with the mayor. Maybe we'll make it a 2-mayor segment. It could be exciting. But yes, we got Guy Fieri's first restaurant in Arizona. His first sit-down restaurant is going to be at the former location of Game 7 Grill inside of the Caesar Sportsbook that they are building just across from the entrance to Chase Field. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be, Josh, welcome. I do have all the drip on today. And yes, there is a tremendous excitement for me personally, excitement party of one right here for what's going on there, Jesse. I've been to Guy Fieri's restaurants before. They're fantastic. So again, this is just something that's very, very different from what we've seen, and hopefully just the beginning of more wonderful food options coming to Chase Field.
Does this mean that Guy Fieri will be there all the time? Like, will he just be there and you can just kind of go and say hi to him all the time?
I mean, it's his restaurant, Jesse. That's how it works. Don't you know how Ramsey's restaurant works? Gordon Ramsay is always at all of his restaurants all the time.
Sure. That makes sense.
So of course Guy Fieri is going to be at this one all the time. Get your shit together, man. Of course. No, I don't know, but you know what? It seems like he likes Phoenix a lot. I know he's a big fan of the Suns, so maybe he'll pop over when he's at games and visit his place. I have been a constant visitor of any restaurant here in the Valley that he featured on his show. So I am a very big follower of a fellow mayor. And I can't wait for like the welcoming meal that we will have, like when we sit down at our large mayor table across from each other in our throne chairs. Oh, the spread is going to be incredible, Jesse.
The real question is there a vice mayor of Flavor Town who I can hang out with? Because I feel like I'm going to be a little bit intimidated. You guys are going to hit it off. And I need someone I can hang out with who's a little
we'll arrange that. Of course we can arrange that. There's no way a man of that importance doesn't have a vice mayor. It's just, again, I've said this.
If his vice mayor is a dog, I am set. I actually kind of hope it's a dog.
That would be incredible. Shout out to Mayor Max, who is a mayor he's a dog in California. Big fan of his, fellow mayor as well. So I'm just excited. I'm pumped, Jesse. It's the first thing that we've had to be excited about Chase Field. I said it before. All I wanted was some food options, especially they didn't even have to be very complicated. It didn't have to be this extravagant. You didn't need to fly in another mayor. I feel what you did here, though, D-backs. You appealed directly to me. You were like, we got to get this guy off our back. And you knew how to do it. Home run so far, home run. As long as he brings some of his crazy milkshakes that he has at one of his places, and I am all set. But excited for that. Excited just for Chase Field to have some more options. And honestly, it seems like that's going to be like an exciting place to be, which is a bit different than Game 7 Grill. But I will say Game 7 Grill did have a fun outdoor environment before the games a lot of times. Couldn't even get in that place sometimes with how packed it was. So hopefully we'll see that same thing with this spot.
So I'm trying to forgive me, I haven't spent as much time at Chase Field as I would have liked the last several years. Game 7 Grill is the place that's like across from the stadium.
Yeah,
right?
in the quad, like not across the street,
Yeah.
but it's still in the same like block, but it's not
right.
in the stadium. I've seen a lot of reports saying that this restaurant was coming to inside of Chase Field, and that's not the case. It will be accessible, and it's not going in the TGI Fridays old spot, to my knowledge. It's going in where Game 7 Grill was.
Okay.
So,
because that's the spot I first had in my head, but then I was like, wait, Game 7 Grill is outside the stadium, not inside the stadium.
I'm still waiting to see that, because that's just a remarkable location. And I think whoever takes that up, if they can do the right thing with the former, Friday's front row.
Friday's front row was kind of a big deal. I remember. I
loved going there. I used to go there without tickets to games and just be able to watch the game from kind of, not the greatest view, but I'm sitting there eating dinner and watching the game for free while at the ballpark. Like, what more could you want sometimes? So it was a very, very unique location. It'll be interesting to see if they keep it as that, the way they do with the external entrance and the ability to come in without a ticket, or if it kind of gets absorbed by Chase Field. Chase Field doesn't need any more seats. They need more restaurants and more stuff to eat, more stuff to do.
There you go.
Hey, Nick, welcome. It's his first time catching it live. Glad to have you here. Absolutely. We're talking about fellow mayors at Flavor getting together, eating a bunch of food. I don't know what he's into, but I'm going to need to research this, Jesse, because I want to welcome him. I know he's already been to the Valley a lot. We've seen him here, but I want to with him having a restaurant here, it kind of makes sense. It makes me wonder if during the Suns run in the playoffs, if all of his appearances in Phoenix had maybe something to do with him taking a look at this location, because that would kind of line up with when, decisions are kind of made and such. So
did he make multiple appearances at Suns games? I do remember that. Vaguely.
He was there a couple of times at a couple of the playoffs games. But of course it was always kind of fun and high profile when he was there, and he was always wearing Sun stuff, and his kid was with him, and he was decked out in Suns gear. So it's great. It's great to know he's on our side. So welcome again to the Valley, fellow mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri. But Jesse, I'm going to have some reports going out this week to D-backs minor league mini camp. It might be rained out tomorrow, which sucks. But
you're not allowed to have rainouts in Arizona.
I don't know. I would be out there with an umbrella and this hoodie on if they let me. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. So there might not be anything tomorrow, but if not, I should be out there on Friday. But I'll have some information kind of from what I saw yesterday. I kind of talked about it. Nothing earth shattering, but just, again, it warmed my soul to hear the crack of the bat and those guys playing baseball. It was great to be out there, and it was a beautiful day. So I'll have a bit more of that over at gophnx.com, as well as, again, Jesse's piece on Zach Gallen and kind of what went wrong in 2021 for him. So if you're not a member already, go ahead and sign up over at gophnx.com. Become an annual member and get yourself a free t-shirt over at the phnxlocker.com. Jesse, are you wearing yours right now, or are you not wearing yours? Do you have the t-shirt on?
I'm wearing
He's got it on. Look at that one.
Shirt,
that one's an incredible. I know I was going to be in Suns gear tonight too, which I don't know what that says about our supporting our own podcast, but and Evan's going to be out there tomorrow. So hopefully we don't get rained out, but go over to phnxlocker.com and grab yourself a free t-shirt. If you sign up to become an annual member, you can pick whatever one. You won't hurt our feelings. Trust me. You get that Sunset Drive shirt with Booker. Also some great Coyote shirts, outstanding Coyote shirts. So get over there. We're inching closer to the season. I promise you, we're going to have some new D-backs designs, including one. It's too bright to see, but a little snake guy over here on my computer that might just make it onto a shirt. But of course, if you're not interested in the annual option, go get the month-to-month option. You'll get your first month for just 50 cents. Check out if you enjoy us. If you like what you see, sign up for that annual membership. Of course, we got great content, not just from us, but from all of the beats, Coyotes, Suns, of course, ASU. My man Shane Diefenbach is killing it with ASU coverage. So please be sure to check it out and support us. We appreciate you becoming a member of the family. Come to the Discord, help us plan the show. We talk about that all the time. And honestly, not only do we get members of our family helping us out with the show, but we got members from the Coyotes podcast helping us out because our friend Stevie over at Steve Peters over at the Coyote Show hit me to this next story that I came across, and we're making this a bit of required reading for everybody. I think everybody should check it out. It's a pretty interesting story. It's the story of the Wyoming State Penitentiary All-Stars, Jesse. This came up because, baseball is slow, but this was incredibly interesting to me. Apparently, back in 1911, this team that was essentially comprised of 3 rapists, a forger, 5 thieves, and 3 killers played for their lives, Jesse. They played for their lives. In fact, their star player was a man named Joseph Seng, who was convicted of murdering his lover's husband. And he got several stays of execution due to playing on this baseball team. Now, they didn't last very long, obviously, even though they were apparently very popular. People very much enjoyed watching this team of prisoners and convicted felons play the game of baseball.
Were they in cuffs? Like what? Like, how would you?
No,
feel?
It was like a Suicide Squad kind of ordeal, right? They played like their lives depended on it because they did. It's interesting. The Joseph Sang said that mistakes on the field would not be tolerated. They told us prisoners would who make errors that cost the team a game would have more time added to their sentence. Winning would lead to reduced time and stays of execution. So much so that they slaughtered the execution. Oh, that's I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say they slaughtered the competition. They beat handedly the competition in the 4 games that they played before eventually this was determined to be a bad idea. Imagine this. The spectators watching it like to gamble on it, surprisingly. And then it became such a problem with the gambling, and the players themselves, who are convicted felons, still in prison, also gambling on it, that they eventually squashed it and replaced the baseball program with an education program for prisoners. But the team did go undefeated. They went 4-0, so give them the banner that they deserve for being.
Who did they play? Like, who were there a bunch of teams like this in a league, and they were all kind of
they just played other exhibition games against, like, they didn't really describe the teams, but it just sounds like teams made like almost like rec league teams, right? So it's like it's not like they were playing very good, but like the guy that was the star of the team sang in one of the games. He had 2 home runs and a grand. One of them was a grand slam, but eventually. Actually, he literally survived an extra year just based on this baseball team, because that's the way that they kept him from eventually being put to death, which he was a year later in 1912. So that's a sad ending to that story.
Figure out what would it look like to be on the other side. Like, you show up and you're playing, You're playing this team, and you're like, all right, they've got rapists and forgers and all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. Are you gonna cross them? Do you really want to win?
I'm gonna get the heck out of there, Derek. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna play that baseball game. And I
how
wonder
long
if that's
is number
why they were so
sentence?
Successful.
Yeah, I don't want to know that this guy's getting out in 6 months and going to come looking for me because I handed them their first L. That's not happening. I'm walking every single one of these dudes as the starting pitcher. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy because, again, baseball has just been around long enough to have these insane stories that are true, because it existed in a completely different time that we can't even imagine. Like you said, were there armed guards on the field with guns pointed at them the whole time? Like,
I just have so many safety questions. Like, this just seems like a horrible idea.
It's funny you bring that up, because one of the things I found funny was that the city that the prison was located in was Rollins, which is, of course, the glove baseball glove manufacturer. And then, like, also apparently they had such a problem with other inmates like breaking out and stuff during this prison, like during the games and at other times, that like it was all deemed that all of this was the fault of the whole baseball program. But eventually they kind of cleaned up their act with the education program that they put into place, and then that was it. But several guys at least got to live an extra long time because they were good at baseball, and hey, good for them, I guess.
Clearly, this is the solution for our criminal justice problems in America, right? Put them all on baseball teams. Clearly, that's the only reasonable solution.
Well, like, I mean, what are the consequences here? If you lose, you go, you advance. If you win, you go on. If you lose, you go back to prison. Is that the way it works? That's
maybe you can only benefit. Like, there's no going backwards.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. That's I still want to see it. I still want it on pay-per-view, to be honest. So give it to me. I just want baseball so bad, Jesse. I'm willing to watch anybody play it. Bad, good, doesn't matter. Small children, whatever. Can I bet? Can I do a same game parlay on my kids' game? No. Okay, fine. Get baseball back fast. I'm sick of this. Honestly, it's again the one thing that I hate about going out to Salt River Fields is the reminder that it's kind of not real. It feels so right to be out there. I've had so many people ask. I say I have to let people know there is no public access, unfortunately. I did see some people like at the gate with their hands on the gate, kind of looking in. Josh says, I think ASU's game is on right now, so I'm dressed for that. I can watch that right now. But yeah, I just I'm looking forward to these meetings continuing for MLB and just getting something done. They have this February 28th deadline that I don't even know who imposed it, but is that deadline to not
MLB.
extend?
Yeah.
Is that to not extend the delay of minor league or of the spring training season?
Yeah, it's February 28th is the day that Major League Baseball gave to they need a deal by then in order to start the regular season on time. And some people have said there's probably a couple days of leeway. Like if they come to an agreement on March 1st or March 2nd or something, I'm sure they would find a way to start on time. But yeah, it's totally imposed by Major League Baseball, but it's also pretty reasonable. Like obviously we can't go much past that in order for the players to be able to ramp up and everything. So kind of makes sense.
I hate it so much. I hate it. That's all. I just want to pound my fists. It's I hate it. But anyway, we should still see hopefully some further advancement. Still nothing, no talk today on the CBT. So hopefully that's a priority tomorrow. And once they can get over that major hurdle, I hope we see some progression and some kind of steam building behind this. We need to save spring training. I'm gonna scream and yell about this so much because it's just so important. Like it's wild because I know there's a lot of local fans watching. I don't imagine there's very many national fans, but so to some people it's just baseball. To us here in Arizona, it's a whole different thing about the local economy and what this does for it. So I hope they're realizing the amount of people they're affecting with this dragging on. That's all I'll say. But I don't want to get any angrier than I already am about it. So we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much for being here in the comments. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cap_Caveman with a K. Jesse is at Jesse and Friedman. I'm not sure what Guy Fieri's Twitter handle is, but you should follow him as the mayor of Flavor
Basically
Town.
Part of the show.
He's part of the show now. And the show is at PHNX_DBacks. But of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports. And that's on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Jesse, I did my first TikTok.
Wow.
I had no idea what I was doing. Shout out to Michaela Perkins for putting that together and making me look so funny because I don't know. Go check out TikTok and see what I did. Hopefully you guys laugh at it. This stuff's beyond me, Jesse. I just can't. I don't know. I was on the Instagram. I didn't know how to boomerang. I don't know anything anymore. And it's more frustrating because it's probably like, it sounds like I'm joking, but I'm really this bad at this stuff. So it's frustrating because I feel like I'm capable of grasping it, but It's just not there yet. So again, struggle along with me. Follow me on Instagram, same handle if you want to. I don't know. I do stories and stuff every now and again. Don't post much there, but that's because I live on Twitter. I'm there all the time. You could message me at 3 a.m. and you might get a message back like scary fast. But anyway, of course, like I said, follow us all on all the social media. And also go over to, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss any of the content coming out from the PHNX team. It's wonderful. It's informative. It's funny. And most of all, it's the best local content you can get. Let's be honest. We have a good time, and I hope you guys have a good time watching. Of course, you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast app. Subscribe to us there. Leave us a 5-star review, but only if you feel that we deserve it. And you know we do. Come on. And if you don't feel we do, you just don't leave us a review at all. It's fine. But we thank you guys again so much for watching. MLB, get your shit together. Get this thing moving. Let's get some baseball started. We thank you guys again so much for watching. On behalf of Jesse and myself, we appreciate you being here. And remember, kids, baseball is fun. But man, I can't wait to play baseball again.